The government could be about to move a foreign criminal next door to you. Foreign criminals are being moved into taxpayer-funded asylum accommodation across Britain because Labour is just not deporting them. A bombshell investigation by the Daily Express revealed that 1,500 convicted foreign criminals are now living in taxpayer-funded asylum accommodation indefinitely. You are paying for a foreign criminal to be given a house. You also need to be aware that the government did everything in its power to stop you finding out about this. They repeated...
Well, there you go. This is GB News Originals. I'm Emily Carver. Please do give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And do leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you think...
denied multiple Freedom of Information requests from the Daily Express, and they were ultimately forced into revealing the true nature of this utter scandal by the Information Commissioner. Now, I want to give you some examples of exactly how this could work in practice.
Just keep it still for now. Yeah.
Yes, that's the Sudanese illegal immigrant who was sentenced to 2 years in prison for wandering into a school with a knife, a hammer, a hatchet and half a litre of petrol. Now, because he's already served more than a year on remand, he's actually eligible for release this week, potentially. Now, I'd bet good money he won't be deported, so there is a very good chance they'll just move him back into an HMO somewhere in the country. There will likely be people in that area with kids. They won't be told about him moving in there. It doesn't bear thinking about what could happen, does it? Now, what about this guy?
Englishman, Nigel Pasa, don't talk about me. You not know me. I come to England because I want marriage with your sister. Don't talk about me more. I gonna come to England. I gonna mother.
Madder Passer, the bloke who threatened to kill Nigel Farage and forcefully marry his sister. He's in prison, and we're able to see exactly how he's getting on in there because for a while he was even posting videos on an illegal phone from behind bars. Nice chap. Reformed character, I think. He could be released around April next year. Now, he's from Afghanistan. It's unlikely he'll be deported. So where will he go? Almost definitely into a taxpayer-funded HMO. So you wake up one morning and an Afghan criminal guilty of making threats to kill with an AK-47 tattooed on his face is your new neighbour. Fantastic. There is a real and present danger of allowing people who've had their asylum claims rejected and who know that they have nothing to lose and who now have a resentment against this country, like, you know, we sent them to prison, to live amongst us. There's a real danger about letting them do that. Take the example of the illegal immigrant who tried to blow up the largest maternity hospital in Europe, Liverpool Women's Hospital. He had his asylum claim rejected. He didn't want to go back to Iraq. He was angry with Britain, despite the Church of England trying to vouch for him. And he wanted to kill military veterans, but when he failed, he just wanted to blow himself up in a building full of women and newborn babies. There is a total of around 35,000 asylum seekers in HMOs across the UK and just shy of 69,000 across the total taxpayer-funded dispersal accommodation system, which will include single-occupant properties like bedsitters, etc. There are also around 20,000 foreign criminals living across Britain. I suspect the true number is much, much higher. Now, the government is playing roulette with our lives, and it's important to cut through the BS being pushed out by Labour on this. They say that they've deported 67,000 people since coming to power. Well, more than 50,000 individuals left the UK voluntarily after being officially informed that they had no legal right to remain. And the top countries they were sent back to include Brazil, Albania, India and Romania. Well, good, they shouldn't be here, but they're not sending anyone back to Afghanistan, Sudan, Iran, Eritrea or Syria, which is where most of the threats are coming from. And what is Andy Burnham's big plan here?
So, working with local areas, Number 10 North will oversee the biggest council house building programme since the post-war period.
They all clap for that, brilliant. just to build loads more council houses. Now, to me, that means that your area can probably expect loads more foreign criminals and failed asylum seekers. There are around 162,000 people currently at various different stages of the asylum process. That's a heck of a lot of people. It's a lot of HMOs, isn't it? It's a lot of areas in Britain that will be put at risk. How can people in this government sleep at? Let's get thoughts on my panel. Daily Express columnist Carol Malone, former UK member Sir Jake Berry and political commentator Kai Wilshaw. So, Carol, yes, the government did not want us to be able to find out how many foreign criminals they are just moving into taxpayer-funded accommodation.
I mean, astonishingly good work by the Express here. It took them 11 months to get this information. And they kept on, and as you say, it was the Information Commission eventually that gave the answers. They don't want us to know because they know what our reaction is going to be. They know it's going to be talked about on shows like this, and people are going to get furious. The thing is, you know, the kind of message this sends out, and if you're a foreign criminal, not only can't you be deported, but you're going to get a free house as well. Imagine if you're standing over in Calais waiting to board a dinghy going, way, we can get there and commit crimes as well and get a free house and benefits. And I just think, you know, what you alluded to before, the thing about these people is they're scattered quietly among communities. You know, the Home Office is saying they're very careful and they're very conscious of what this means. No, they're not. They just want them out of prison and they want to chuck them into the communities. They're not telling the people there in those communities who these people are. They're probably mostly men. They're not telling them if they're a danger to people, to women, particularly children. And yet they're scattering them among communities close to schools, as we just saw there. It's got to stop. You know, we keep on hearing there's no returns agreement with a lot of these countries. We don't give a stuff about that. Stop saying that and find a way. There's loopholes to every law. Find a way around it and get these people out of our country. Because every illegal migrant in this country, if they're put in a hotel, 47 grand a year per migrant. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I've highlighted a couple of cases there, just recent ones that stand out. You've got, you know, Mada Passa, Mada, and then you've got the Sudanese gentleman, poor misunderstood bloke who just wanted to draw a bit of attention to himself by wandering into a school armed to the flipping teeth. He could be out of prison like today, tomorrow. We're not deporting him, are we? So he's going to be moved into an HMO.
Well, people are right to be really concerned about this, aren't they? As, you know, they get scattered into communities without the communities knowing about it. It's completely wrong. And there has to be another way. And there's two ways of dealing with this that the government should look at. The first is a lot of these countries are receiving significant international aid from the United Kingdom.
The scandal Whitehall tried to hide, foreign offenders quietly settled across British communities without your knowledge. It sounds like the plot of a political thriller, but it is currently the reality unfolding across the United Kingdom. Welcome to Britain Underneath, where we peel back the polished political speeches to reveal what is truly taking place behind closed doors in Westminster. Let us stop for a moment and look at the broader picture. If you are finding this breakdown insightful and want to stay informed on the decisions shaping British society, please take 2 seconds right now to subscribe to Britain Underneath. Your subscription is the single most effective way to help this channel grow, enabling us to continue producing rigorous, evidence-based content. Please hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and stay with us until the end of this video so you get the full scope of this critical issue. In response to growing public scrutiny and escalating costs, the current administration has put forward a series of policy adjustments. Home Office officials have highlighted plans to expand capacity at key removal centres, such as Haslar and Campsfield, aiming to boost national detention bed spaces significantly. Legislation has also been proposed to adjust how human rights provisions, particularly regarding family life claims, are applied in deportation hearings for severe offenders. Furthermore, ministers point to statistics showing an increase in overall foreign national offender removals compared to previous operational periods. However, critics and policy analysts argue that expanding detention infrastructure only addresses part of the equation. Building additional facilities takes years, and increasing bed capacity does little to solve the diplomatic impasse with non-cooperative foreign governments. Furthermore, reliance on major private contractors to manage community dispersal housing has created a commercially driven system where housing allocation decisions are driven by logistics rather than community impact. Former industrial towns and lower-cost housing sectors routinely absorb a disproportionate number of these placements, leading to visible changes in local demographics and heightened anxiety among long-term residents. The debate also intersects with wider housing policies across the United Kingdom. As local authorities face historic waiting lists for social housing and affordable accommodation, the allocation of thousands of residential units for government dispersal contracts has ignited fierce political debate. Proposals to construct new housing developments or reallocate regional funds are frequently met with scepticism from local communities, who worry that newly created infrastructure will be prioritised for system backlogs rather than local families. The friction between national central planning and local community stability continues to grow, making housing policy one of the most volatile battlegrounds in modern British politics. When examining the legal mechanics, the role of international treaties cannot be ignored. Debate continues to rage within Westminster over whether the UK should maintain its current alignment with international conventions or introduce tailored domestic legislation to streamline deportations. Proponents of reform argue that public safety must take absolute priority over international protocols when severe offences have been committed on British soil. Conversely, legal experts caution that stepping away from international frameworks could damage Britain's standing on the global stage and complicate diplomatic cooperation on cross-border security. As we navigate these complex political and social questions, it is vital to stay informed and examine the facts beyond political rhetoric. The management of foreign national offenders and the asylum accommodation network is not merely an abstract policy debate occurring in the corridors of Westminster. It directly touches the daily lives, security, and tax contributions of citizens across the United Kingdom. Understanding how these systems operate, where public money is spent, and why information is sometimes kept from the public domain is essential for an engaged, discerning electorate. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us today on Britain Underneath. We encourage you to take a breath, reflect on these facts, and stay informed as this story continues to develop. If this analysis provided you with clear, valuable insights, please support our work by subscribing to the channel right now. Your support truly drives our independent coverage and helps ensure these vital topics receive the attention they deserve. Make sure to watch our other investigative videos on UK politics. Leave your thoughts in the comments section below and join us again next time for another clear, uncompromising look at what is happening across the country.